Hi everyone, welcome to Baba Urban Farming Workshop. I'm Jess from Baba. Tonight our topic is how to improve quality and quantity of fruits or fruiting veggie at home, such as long bean, tomato, brinjal, soursop, papaya, and more. So when we plant fruits or melon at home, we always sit there and enjoy our plants and waiting the flower to come up. We hope that we could have see a lot of flower and fruits on our tree. But do you experience the flower drop earlier or the plants look very healthy, but wait, no flower. Just don't know why I can't see the flowers. So tonight, Hans will share about the tips on how to boost more flower and fruits for our plants. So stay tuned with us. So welcome to click on the share button and share out our online workshop to your friends. Let's all gardening kaki could enjoy the harvest tips from Hans. And before start, I will have a quick introduction about Baba and Hans. So Baba is a gardening accessory manufacturer from Malaysia. We continuously deliver quality, creative, and eco-friendly gardening products to farmers and gardeners. We focus on developing eco-friendly products and promote organic farming. Planting in organic way is important to conserve our environment. We always share about organic farming method with farmers and provide training to encourage farmers reduce the usage of toxic chemicals. By this, it is good to farmer and also reduce the agrochemical pollution. Through our sharing, we hope to make farming and urban farming easier for everyone and everyone could enjoy a very great harvest from their gardens. So for for friends who just joined tonight, Hans will share on how to improve quality and quantity of fruits or fruiting veggie at home. So please check, have you clicked on the share button? Have you already shared tonight our Facebook Live to your Facebook or to the gardening kakis? So please help us to share out our online workshop tonight. So if you want more flowers or fruits on your plants, or do you have any problems on cracked fruits or the flower drops earlier before it bear fruits? So you must stay with us for tonight topics. After hand sharing, we will have a Q&A section. So you may write down during the sharing, you may write down your question in the comment anytime. So I will read out to Hans during our Q&A section. So tonight we will have, I think that most of the participants tonight have familiar with our Hans as our speaker for tonight. He graduated from Iowa State University of US with Bachelor Honor Degree of Agriculture and Biosystem Engineering. He had more than 2 years management experience in a 2,000-acre farm in US. He also been trained as organic farmer in Shixing Organic Farm in Taiwan. He been visiting to Malaysia farm and conduct research on organic farming in the past 7 years. He continuously provide assistance and consultation to local farmers who would like to convert to organic farming. And he is familiar with organic or non-pesticide farming practice. So let's welcome Hans Leong.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Hans. We meet again here. We really appreciate your time. You spend your time here with us to learn about the topics together today. Today, we would like to talk about how to improve the quality and the quantity of fruits or fruiting vegetables at home. Before we start to talk about the contents today. We would like to do some clarification on what is fruiting vegetable and also what is the fruit tree. So the fruiting vegetables are whatever kind of vegetables that can fruit. For example, the eggplants, the chili, the bitter gourd, the long bean, watermelon, edamame, corns, okra, wherever the vegetables that can fruit. Okay. And the fruit trees is whatever kind of woody plants that can fruit, regardless the size, could be big, could be small, could be tall, could be short, and can produce for a long time. For example, the fig trees, the lime trees, durian trees, guava trees, soursop trees, and so on. So all the principles and the methods we will talk about today are applicable to these two types of plants. So let's talk about some of the problems that we may see. For example, the flower just drop, okay, from the plant. The fruit, after flower, we cannot see any fruits at all. All the fruits drop early before ripening. And the tomato fruit get split, get cracked like this, okay? And then similarly to the lime tree. And then we also, sometimes we see some fruits or some vegetables that we harvest it, it look normal from outside, but when we cut it, and it look black or rotten or empty at the center. And similarly to this fruit, so the fruit center gets soft and rotten, and we touch it, and the texture is something like crystal and jellyish. Okay, so most of the symptoms above are due to lacking of certain kind of nutrients. So today we will talk about today, and the plants can still survive, okay, to be honest, with this condition. But the plant will get older and older, and the plant will get unhealthy. So if we just not care about it, the plant will get weaker and attract more pathogens and eventually become sick. So for example, like if we grow chili, sometimes we will see the certain spot like this. In Malaysia, we call it chicken eye disease, okay? Or in scientific name, anthracnose, okay? So this is due to lack of certain kind of nutrients that make the skin too thin and attract more microbes to attack it. And similarly to this guava fruit, okay? It has the black dot disease on top. So how can we apply the right fertilizer and then to avoid these? Okay, we will talk about it today. And also the blossom emerald, okay, which you see there is a black color at the edge of the fruit, okay. This is also due to lack of certain kind of nutrients. So today we would like to do some sharing through this platform. Hopefully we can learn all this together. We can understand the negative effects of nutrient deficiency towards the fruit quality. So sometimes the nutrient deficiency could be due to the soil surrounding, the fertilizer we apply, or the weather condition, okay? It's so dynamic that we could not foresee or we could not expect, okay, what kind of nutrients that the plants may possibly lack, okay? But we can know the symptoms as early as possible, and we can know how to replenish the nutrient quickly and effectively, especially in organic way in today's topic. Okay, so no matter the fruiting vegetables such as tomato or other things else that we mentioned just now, and or the small fruit trees like the fig tree, or the big fruit tree like these, all the plants that can fruit, they will undergo all these stages. They will produce flower, okay? After flower, they need to go through fertilization, means that the pollen will fertilize with the female organ in the flower, okay? And it becomes fruit, and the fruit will eventually become larger, okay? And until it become mature, ripen, and we can harvest it. So during each of the stage over here, the plant may face some problem. For example, during flowering stage, why the plants cannot bear flower? Or during fertilization stage, why the fruits drop easily before becoming fruit? Or during the fruit enlargement phase, why the problems happen? For example, the split fruit, the fruit drop, black edge, black drop, black dot, okay, and so on, okay? Within this short time, okay, we try to explain most of the problems that occur during the fruit enlargement process. Today, we would like to talk about 3 nutrients that are quite critical for the fruits. Apart from NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, we also need to provide Ca, Mg, and B, okay, which are calcium, magnesium, and boron. Okay, let me repeat: calcium, magnesium, boron. Calcium, magnesium, boron. CalMag-Bor. Okay, CalMag-Bor. Please remember about these three elements, which are very crucial for the fruit. So why are these nutrients are so important? Calcium. Let us explain about the principle behind these nutrients. Calcium, the short form is Ca. Okay, the calcium are the important nutrient to form the fruit skin. So the calcium absorbed will become the calcium peptides. So these calcium peptides are something like the Lego, okay, to the Lego bricks that is readily to form the fruit skin whenever the plants start to get fruits, okay? So what will happen if calcium is not enough inside the plants? Okay, first thing, the fruit will get cracked, will get split. Okay, something like this. Okay, the watermelon will you will observe like the fruit will get like split at the center of the fruit. Okay, something like it bursts out, like the tomato plant. Okay, you see there is a crack at the center. Okay, the lime trees, the lime will crack at the center. Okay, and why this happen? For example, if surrounding there too much water, okay, due to raining or due to humid surrounding, okay, probably sometimes we just water too much during their fruiting stage, okay, and the internal it keep absorbing the water and the internal water pressure inside the fruit become greater. So if the calcium is too little inside the plant and the skin form is too thin and it cannot withstand the great pressure inside the fruit. That's why it starts to burst out, it starts to crack, okay, and it forms the crack like this. It also happened to the watermelon, okay? So especially during the rainy season, if absorb too much water, it start to build much pressure within the fruit itself and it start to get cracked. That's why if we see these symptoms, we can provide more calcium to the plant. Okay, later we will talk about how can we provide the plant calcium in a quicker way. The second symptom, if the calcium is not enough, is the blossom and rot, or what we call the rot age. Okay, so you will see the fruit at the edge, at the edge of the fruit, it start to get black, it start to get rotten. Okay, why this happen? Because the skin, okay, is a thinness at the edge. Okay, just imagine when you blow the balloon. Okay, which part of the balloon is the thinnest? Okay, of course at the edge of the balloon, because that's the part that is being stretched the most. And that's why if we don't provide enough calcium to form the uniform skin thinness, okay, and the edge is the parts that get easily rotten because it cannot distribute enough nutrient to form a uniform skin over here, okay. And similarly to the capsicum, okay, you will see the capsicum here also have the black rotten edge here. Similarly to the watermelon, okay, black and rot at the edge. And the third symptom is the plants tend to get easily infected by the disease, okay. For example, the chicken eye disease and anthracnose. The guava tree, the guava fruit, sometimes we buy from the market, you will see some black dots on top, okay. And this is what we call the black dot disease and anthracnose. Okay, and also got the chicken eye disease formed on the chili, okay, anthracnose. So why this happen? Okay, especially when the fruit almost ripen, okay, like this, the guava tree. This is because when the fruits get almost ripen, the sweetness, the sugar content within the flesh keep increasing, okay, while ripening. The sugar level gets more concentrated, okay. So if the skin is too thin, means that the sugar would tend the smell of the sugar would tend to attract more pests, would tend to attract more microbes to eat it. Okay, and that's why it start to infect, okay, the place that the skin is thin, okay, which is thin, and this is usually occur when the plant don't have enough calcium. And the fourth symptom is the fruit tend to get dropped easily, okay, especially when the fruit is still small. Okay, so when the fruit, okay, when the fruit start to form, it start to get heavier, okay, and if the calcium is not enough, the cell of the fruit stalk over here is too thin, and the structure is very weak, and it cannot support the weight of the fruit itself, and it start to get dropped. Okay, you see the flower drop, the fruit drop, all happen is because because lack of calcium. So for the symptoms of calcium nutrient deficiency include the cracked fruit, the black rot age, the blossom end rot, easily get infected by disease. For example, the black dot disease or chicken eye disease, anthracnose, especially when the fruit get almost ripened and the fruit get dropped before ripening. Okay, so this is overall symptoms caused by calcium nutrient deficiency. And next, we would like to talk about magnesium, okay, or Mg. This is the short form. The magnesium is the important nutrient to form and ripen the fruit flesh and seed, okay? So for those fruits which has seed, okay, it needs magnesium. This is very important for seeded fruits. So if the magnesium is not enough, it will produce yellow leaves, okay, which what we call the fishbone yellowing. During fruiting process, okay, and it need to form flesh and seed within the fruit itself, okay, and it tends to absorb more magnesium for other parts of the plant, especially the old leaves, okay. And that's why if the plant don't have enough magnesium, okay, the old leaves start to get depleted the magnesium, okay, and it start to produce fishbone yellowing of the old leaves, okay, like this. You see the winds of the leaves are still green in color, but the flesh, okay, the center flesh of the leaves is yellow color, like fishbone, okay. And if lack of magnesium, these mostly occur on the old leaves. So how can we recognize it's an old leaf? Start from the bottom of the leaves, the most bottom of the leaves. If you observe the fishbone yellowing like this, it means the plant lack of magnesium. If we don't care about it, okay, and then the leaf will get dropped because it don't have enough nutrient. And it often occurs at the trees with many fruits. For example, the lime trees, okay, and the chili, which produce a lot of fruits at the same time because it absorbs many magnesium from the old leaves. Okay, so during fruiting process, we need to observe this kind of symptom. Boron. Okay, the next nutrient we like to talk about is boron, or the short form is B. So the boron, you can just treat it as the bus, okay, or trolley, okay, that transport the nutrients produced from photosynthesis to every part of the plant, especially the inner part of the organ, okay. So the leaf will start to get photosynthesis and convert all the nutrients into food, okay, into nutrients. So if we need some nutrients that can transport to the inner center of the plant, okay, and boron play a major function on this. So if the boron is not enough, what will happen? The flower will get dropped, okay? So we see the boron, actually it can stimulate the formation of the pollen grain and the flower organ. So if the boron is not enough, the formation of the pollen, okay, the pollen grain and the organs are all and normal. Okay, that's why if the plant lack of boron, the flower drop. Okay, due to abnormal flower organ. Okay, or unsuccessful fertilization because it cannot produce enough pollen grain to get fertilized to go through the fertilization stage. Okay, and if the boron not enough, the second symptom is the problem of fruit center. For example, the fruit or the vegetables look normal, but the center got problem like black, rotten, empty, or soft rotten. Like for example, this is what we call the radish. Okay, and when we buy it, it seems normal, but when we cut it, the center it has a black center and it start to get rotten. Like this cauliflower, okay, from outside it look normal, but when we cut it, a cross section like this, the center is empty. You can see the the stem here is empty. And you see the fruit over here. Okay, this is a mango fruit. So from outside it look normal, but when we cut it cross sectional, the fruit center is soft, it's rot. Okay, and why this happen is because it don't have enough boron, don't have the buzz, don't have the rodi that can transport enough nutrient to the center part of the fruit. Okay, to the center part of the vegetable, to the center part of the radish. So that's why these symptoms happen. We make a short revision over here. The symptoms of magnesium nutrient deficiency. After fruiting, the ovaries will become yellow. Okay, and it looks like the fish bone. Okay, so we call it fish bone yellowing. And the symptoms of boron nutrient deficiency. So it could cause the flower drop due to abnormal flower organ formation, or the pollen grain cannot form a lot. And we could produce normal fruits, the fruits with normal appearance, but with black, empty, and soft rod center. Therefore, during fruiting stage, the plants require calcium, magnesium, and boron. Okay, let me repeat again: calcium, magnesium, and boron. Okay, calcium, magnesium, and boron. So these three nutrients are very well known. Okay, among the large-scale farmers, they won't forget to give the plants these three nutrients. And these three nutrients can be avoided and treated with foliar fertilizer. So if the plants get nutrient deficit like this, okay, it won't get die within like 1 or 2 days or 1 week. Okay, it just get unhealthy, and it show you some symptoms of malnutrition, and probably you just like abandon it for like 3 weeks or more, and the plant will start to get weird. Okay, so if we can notice the symptoms as early as possible, they can be treated very well. And we can replenish the calcium, magnesium, and boron nutrient through foliar, okay, through the leaves. And what are the first choice for the farmers to replenish these nutrients? Okay, they probably use the foliar nutrients in the form of chemical or semi-chemical, which means that they use semi-chemical means that they use something organic as a base, but they add in more chemical fertilizer inside, okay, to let the plant absorb. But as we know that all these nutrients, the source, okay, of making them are mostly non-renewable, okay, are mostly petroleum, okay. And if we spray on the plants, okay, it will create a lot of chemical leachate, okay, to the ground, to the water system, okay. And most of the leachate, okay, most of the residue are not biodegradable, okay. The chemical residue is usually not biodegradable and not able to be assimilated in the natural environment. If the production process, they don't filter out the heavy metal very well, and it can cause the accumulation of heavy metal inside the soil, inside the water system as well, okay. So these will actually create a burden to the earth. also create the burden and negative effects to our health. Okay, because as I say, it creates a lot of it may have the heavy metal residue. So what if we can have the organic method? Okay, we can have more eco-friendly, more healthy method, and then to replenish the plants in the healthy way. In the past, as in the early stage, when we try to promote organic farming, there are not a lot of material that we can use to replenish calcium, magnesium, and boron. But right now, the technology are so advanced, we can have more choices and more techniques are coming out. Okay, and today we would like to share about some techniques today. Okay, first thing we can use is the eggshell. Okay, I believe many friends here use eggshell before. Eggshell is a very good source of calcium. Okay, and also the prawn and crab shell. Okay, in powder form, they are very good source of calcium and magnesium. Okay, but the problem is they are very slow effect. Okay, usually we just like put it on the ground and let the plant absorb this calcium or magnesium through the roots. But this is very slow. That's why if we know that we want to grow something that can fruit, the fruiting vegetables or the fruit trees, we need to apply it as early as possible, way before they start to get flower, so that they can so that the soil can take time to break down the nutrients, okay, the calcium nutrient, the magnesium nutrient, and let the plant absorb to get healthy. But the thing is that you need to take note of the following, especially the eggshell. Before using the eggshell, you need to crush it into very fine particles, and then so that it can be broken down very easily. And also, you need to expose it to the sunlight before you use it. Why? Because the eggshell sometimes it will have the salmonella contamination on the egg. So we will need to eliminate this kind of risk. Okay, that's why we need to expose it to the sun for a few days before you use it. The second way is what we can do is we can do the foliar fertilizer ourselves. Just now we say that we can put something on ground to let the root absorb, but sometimes the effect is so slow that if we already observe the symptoms of lack of nutrient, lack of calcium, lack of magnesium, if we just throw some eggshell on it, probably it's too slow. Okay, that's why we need to apply it on leaf. Okay, the leaf, there are a lot of holes on the leaves that can absorb the nutrient. Okay, part of the nutrient, and this is what we can do in organic way. We can buy the white vinegar or the wood vinegar in the market very easily. We just take like 100 mils and add on with 100 grams of dolomite powder. Dolomite, you can just source it very easily online like Lazada, Shopee. Okay. Dolomite is a very good source of calcium and magnesium. But the thing is that if you don't have dolomite, you can use other source of calcium and magnesium, such as eggshell or the prawn shell or the crab shell also can. Okay, and we dissolve it for one night like this. Okay, it will start to get bubble. The white vinegar and wood vinegar, they are acid, and the dolomite and also the eggshell powder, they are all tend to be alkaline. So when we mix both of them together, they will start to react, to start to get reaction and have bubbles. Okay, so we need to dissolve it for one night. Okay, until the bubbles start to get reduced and become very minimal. And we take the liquid part of the mixture, we dilute it at 3 ml plus 1 liter of water. Okay, and we spray on plants. Okay, and this is very good, and this is very easy way to do. If you want to add on the boron nutrient some more, we can use something like borax. Okay, 1 gram. Borax is actually the naturally mined mineral. Okay, then that is approved to be used in organic farming. So we can add in one more gram of borax, and then to make it have calcium, magnesium, and boron nutrients. And other alternative source to replenish the magnesium is what we call the Epsom salt. Okay, so we can easily get it from online. We just add 2 grams to 2.5 grams of Epsom plus 1 liter of water. Okay, and this is very good to induce the old fruit trees to bear fruit as well. Okay, sometimes we have some old fruit trees or the old trees that have been so long time that cannot fruit anymore. Okay, so we can just spray some Epsom salt to stimulate it. Okay, to make it can bear fruit. If we don't have time, okay, to make the own nutrients or to source all the calcium and magnesium source, we can use the market ready organic foliar fertilizer. Okay, such as like this. This one has already the NPK, okay, and also have the calcium, magnesium, boron, and other trace elements. For example, the manganese, the zinc, and iron, and so on. So all these, okay, are naturally protein sources. These we try to find to source that certain kind of plant materials that have certain elements, okay, at higher proportion, okay, and it goes through innovative fermentation and make it into micro-sized nutrients. And why it needs to be micro-sized? Because when we spray on any part of the plant, okay, it can be absorbed by the leaf, absorbed by the body, and also absorbed by the roots. Okay, easily absorbed by any part of the plant. Okay. And according to R&D, these can be enhanced by amino acid, seaweed extract, and herbs extract. So if you guys are doing the calcium, magnesium, boron nutrients by yourself, you can add in a little bit more amino acid or seaweed extracts. It can help to enhance the absorption of these nutrients as well. So with these, it can help to reduce and even solve the calcium deficiency problem. The symptoms such as the cracked fruit, the fruit drop, blossom end rot, the chicken eye disease, and also the magnesium deficiency such as the fishbone yellowing, and also the boron deficiency. So it can solve all these three together. Like if we can do like this, it can help to enhance the fruit quality and also the fruit quantity. Okay. And there are some tips, okay, we need to take notes when we apply the market ready foliar fertilizer or even your own made liquid fertilizer on fruiting vegetables or fruit trees. We can spray on trees, okay, the leaves and also the stem base for every 7 to 14 days. We can spray after trimming. Why? Because that's the part it needs a lot of nutrient to get absorbed for recovery, okay? And we also can spray when the symptoms of nutrient deficiency exist, okay? So we make some conclusion over here. To grow fruiting vegetables and fruit trees, we also need, okay, we also need to prioritize providing calcium, magnesium, and boron, okay? We can provide the nutrient through leaves, okay, to enhance the fruit quality and quantity. And just now we mentioned about the 3 methods and then to replenish the nutrients, okay? First thing, you can use the eggshell and also the prawn shell or the crab shell, okay? The second thing is you can mix with the wood vinegar or the white vinegar with the source of the calcium and magnesium, or you can mix the Epsom salt. And the third way is you can get the market ready organic foliar fertilizer to replenish the nutrients. Okay, so where you can buy, if you are interested, okay, you can buy it from the major garden center, or you can just get it from online platforms such as Lazada and Shopee. All right, then here's the end of my sharing, and now I pass the time to Jess.
Okay, thanks Hans for the sharing. So we have received a lot of questions from our friends. Yeah. So before I read out all the questions to Hans, so remember all friends, remember to click share. Have you shared our FB live to your friends now? So if you found the information that shared by Hans is very informative to you, so now you could click the share button and share our online workshop tonight to all the gardening skakis. So over here I have received a lot of the question, but for some question which are very specific plants, for example, have some friend mentioned about their tomato, the problems with their tomato or the cucumber. So some question I might not read out. So for those with specific plants, you could send us the PM us the plants picture so that
Mm-hmm.
Hans could diagnose better that what happened to your plants. So here is some question. Well,
Mm-hmm.
the question is, will raining affect the flower and fruiting?
Oh yes, definitely. So sometimes the raining will actually affect the fruiting and flowering. For example, okay, could be the durian tea, could be the chili plants. Okay, and that's why we can replenish the nutrients such as the calcium, magnesium, and boron, and we also can add in a little bit more like amino acid, okay, seaweed extract, or the enzyme you make yourself, or the fish meal you make yourself, fish enzyme you make yourself, and then to make the plant have thicker cell, okay, has a stronger stalk, okay, to reduce it from to reduce the dropping rate, okay. This is what we can do ahead, okay, if we know the plants want to get fruits, okay. This is my share.
Okay. Then we have friend asked that actually, for example, chili and tomato, is these plants continue to grow and fruits, or actually they are just last for a very short
it
while or only a
it can
one-time harvest?
for chili plant, it can continue grow and fruit, okay. It grow to more than half a year, or could grow up to 1 year also can, okay. So we can treat as something like a fruit tree, okay. So if we want to make the plant to have continuous harvest like this, okay, growing the new leaves, and we harvest the fruit like this, we need to replenish calcium, magnesium, and boron, okay, so that it can sustain the continuous fruiting and flowering process that way.
But for tomato, it's only one time harvest, right? Or
Sometimes one
it
time,
or it
sometimes
depends
two
on the
times.
species.
It depends on the species, but it won't get harvest for a long time. Sometimes one time, sometimes two times only. The second time is because some of the flowers they just come out at later, okay, and it fertilized later, okay. So you can harvest for the second time that way, but usually it won't produce more than two times, okay.
So for example, for tomato,
Mm.
edamame, this type of plants, they are the flower they will come up at very near the
Yeah, like
almost at the
a
same
certain
period,
at the
just
same
maybe
period.
1 or 2 weeks later.
Yeah. Yeah, and we need to provide calcium, magnesium, boron to these kind of plants because we want to reduce the fruit from dropping, the flower from dropping, and we need to replenish that area also.
Mm. Okay, so my cucumber plants only have male flowers and without female flowers. So Hans,
Mm-hmm.
you share about the female and male flowers
All right.
nutrients just now.
Okay. Uh, so this is not about the topics today, but I understand a lot of friends they face a lot of problems. Only count out the male flowers, don't have the female flowers. So this is due to lack of phosphorus. Okay, lack of phosphorus. The It don't have enough phosphorus to produce to come out with the female organ. Okay, so what we can do is we know when it will get flower, okay, and then we can add on rock phosphate, okay, rock phosphate, which provide the nutrient phosphorus to the plants. And after you do that way, it will start to stimulate more female flowers that way. Okay, this is you can do like that.
So for this is applicable for most of the plants or only cucumber?
Oh, for most of the plants, okay, if you found the plant only have male, okay, but don't have female, you can source for rock phosphate. You can get it online, like CIRP, Christmas Island rock phosphate or Egyptian rock phosphate. Okay, then you can apply that way. All right.
Okay. So for my tomato flower have flower but no fruits. The flower like half open. So is
Mm.
it this is due to the nutrients?
Yeah, due to the nutrients, because the flower cannot form the flower organ cannot form normally. Okay, due to lack of nutrient. Okay, so that's why it just only half open, half closed like that. So we need to give more nutrients like calcium, magnesium, boron to stimulate like fully open. Okay, add in more potassium and then potassium to together with potassium, okay, and then to boost the flowering. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
rock phosphate I spell again is ROCK. Rock phosphate is PHOSPHATE. Okay, the rock phosphate.
Okay. Then next is my cucumber only bear one fruit. Well, fruitings, the tips will start to wilt and stop growing. So is
Okay.
it this is because of the nutrients also?
Yes, this is due to lack of calcium and boron. Okay, calcium and boron. So you can replenish calcium, magnesium, boron, and then to reduce these kind of symptoms. All right.
So that just now Hans, you have mentioned that about calcium. So is it lack of calcium equal to flower or fruits drop prematurely
Yep.
or not 100% have
Oh,
others boron or
could have other reason. Okay, but we can do this ahead at first, and then to reduce the dropping rate.
okay. So does Epsom salt help to boost Mg? Mg should be magnesium, right?
Yep, Mg magnesium. Yes, correct.
So does Epsom salt help to boost the magnesium?
Yes, yes, definitely. Yes, and then this is approved to be used in organic. Okay.
Okay, then I'm not sure is CAN. I'm not sure is got this trace element CAN
Why the C- okay
or is
calcium?
hypoxia.
I think it's a calcium nitrate. Okay,
Hypo.
why calcium nitrate cannot mix with the magnesium sulfate? Okay, so this is the chemical reaction happen within calcium nitrate and magnesium sulfate. So this is just extra knowledge. If you mix those two together, okay, and then the calcium and magnesium, it cannot be after a long time it will start to become rock together, and it forms something like rock. It cannot become a soluble stage anymore. Okay, and if it become rock like that, it cannot be absorbed by the plants, the calcium and magnesium. Okay, so that's why it cannot mix together.
Oh, okay. And then for the fruits that just now mentioned that lack of boron, if the or if the fruit the center is already rotted, can it still be eaten?
To be honest, not encouraged, okay? Because why it get rotten is if we just think about the process, usually the center, okay, the center is not black in color at first if lack of boron. But why it start to get black? Because it start to get rot. It start to attract microbes to grow at the center of the fruit. Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't encourage you eat it anymore. Okay.
Mm. And then for the aquaponic, is it suitable to use those pelletized fertilizers such as the Mr. Garnic melon veggie fertilizer
Okay,
aquaponic?
I don't know how you apply it. Okay, so I'm not sure that you just want to dissolve it and then let the fish go to eat and poop out, or you just want to apply directly on the plant. Okay, I'm not sure. You can just PM us, and then we will advise you in the right condition, right application according to your scenario. Okay.
Okay. So does seaweed. Okay, so after this question,
Yep.
after this, most of the question will be something like chemist question for me.
All
Okay.
right.
Does seaweed foliar contain sufficient calcium, magnesium, and boron?
Uh, not okay. The seaweed extract or the seaweed fertilizer, it contains calcium, magnesium, and boron, but just very trace. Okay, trace level. Okay, so we need to, if we just want to target it functionally, okay, to the plant, okay, we need to uh, we need to man-made, okay, calcium, magnesium, and boron, okay, to induce it to the plant.
And then can we use the seaweed one time and Epsom salt foliar another time, or should apply at could
Oh,
could them
oh,
apply at the same times, or
yeah,
we
yeah,
should?
yeah. Okay. Yes, actually, seaweed is quite nutrient. Sorry, quite neutral, and then it can be mixed together with Epsom salt or other like calcium, magnesium, boron at the same time. So should be fine if you mix it at the right dilution rate.
Okay. And then next, this question a little bit long. I think he
Mm-hmm.
almost asked details about the info that sharing just now. How to determine quantity of calcium, magnesium, boron to apply for our plants? Will
All
it
right.
cause over fertilizer?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the method, the best method to fertilize? Spray or direct pour on the soil?
All right. Okay. So to me, the first come to first. Okay, we need to avoid over fertilize the plants, especially the boron. Okay, because if the boron we over fertilize it, it will cause the plants cannot absorb other nutrients very well. So that's why we need to avoid the soil application. Try to avoid as best as we could, because if we don't know the rate very well, we may really over fertilize the plant on ground, and it start to block other nutrients from absorbing by the roots. Okay, so that's why the best way to replenish the calcium, magnesium, boron to the plants is through foliar application, because we apply on plants. Okay, it just directly absorb it, and then it absorb on very optimum rate. Okay, it won't absorb too much. Okay, and the liquid drop to the ground, and then it won't create a lot of residue. Okay, so that's why it's the best to apply through foliar application. All right.
Through foliar application.
Means spray to the leaf
Oh,
and
okay.
let the leaf absorb.
Oh, okay. So how, and then the next question will be, is there any organic way to do calcium, magnesium, and boron?
Just now I do mention the calcium, magnesium. You can get from the eggshell, you can get it from the prawn shell, crab shell, or you can get it from quicklime, like that. Okay, and then you can mix it with some acid, like for example the like the vinegar or the wood vinegar. Okay, and then to make the liquid fertilizer yourself. But the boron is really hard to get. Okay, so you can just like get the natural source like borax, or if you make the compost yourself. Okay, and then the compost inside will actually break down some boron nutrient inside. Okay, so during the early planting stage, if we mix the compost with the soil together and we just plant it, and then basically it provides very comprehensive nutrients to the plant, including calcium, magnesium, and boron. Okay.
Okay. Okay, someone mentioned that eggshell will impact the pH of the soil and is not advisable to use for the plants. So how do you think, Hans?
Okay, it depends. Okay, so most of the time, okay, of course, we don't want to over fertilize the plants, as I did just now. This is very true. If we just like apply, like let's say the eggshell, like once a week, okay, this is too much, okay, because we don't know the rate, and the eggshell is a very alkaline source. That's why we just like apply like once a month or during the early stage, like only once, okay, before flowering, okay. But the safest way we can do to provide the calcium, magnesium, boron is through foliar, okay, foliar application, spraying to the leaf. Okay, that's the easiest way to avoid the soil becoming too alkaline, to become away from the neutral pH. Okay.
Okay. And then how to know that which fertilizer that does not contain heavy metal?
Oh, okay. So this one actually, according to many fertilizer standard, we need to send the fertilizer for the lab test. Okay. So according to the country regulation, it states down like what are the permissible level of the heavy metal contained inside the fertilizer. Okay. We cannot more than that level. Okay. So usually the supplier need to send for the lab test, and then this is required by the regulation. All right. So you can ask the supplier to provide you that the lab report also can.
Oh, but for like household
Oh,
household
oh,
gardener, could they request the report from the
okay,
seller? Will
but
it be like
it's really hard, right? So if we go for the let's say like organic fertilizer, if we look for the organic certified fertilizer, okay, one of the standard is that the fertilizer should not have uh, the heavy metal over limit heavy metal. Okay, if you look for the organic certified logo, okay, on the organic fertilizer, it means it's okay. Most of the time it's okay, because in the regulation, in the standard itself, it cannot tolerate over limit heavy metal. Okay.
okay. Then how does dolomite powder come from?
Okay, it's mine. Okay. There are a lot. Okay. Uh, it seems like calcium, the limestone, okay, is being mined naturally. Okay. There is a quarry. Quarry means that there is a mining spot. Okay. There is a quarry on the northern part of Malaysia and also throughout the world, that has the dolomite stone. Okay. So they just mine it, crush it into powder and sell it internationally. So it's very easily get accessible throughout the world.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just now when the application of the dolomite, Hans, you have
Mm.
mentioned that we need to mix with the vinegar and then we just take the liquid portion. And then
Yep.
how about the leftover? Anything
Oh,
that can do
the
with the
left.
leftover
Okay, the
residue?
left the left one actually you can just directly apply to the ground because it's already being broken down into quick semi quick as absorb form. Okay, so you can just apply to the ground and let the plant absorb through the roots.
Does dolomite consider an organic material for
Yes, yes, yes.
agriculture?
Yes, okay. Organic horticulture, organic farming approved to use the dolomite.
Is that the for dolomite is same with lime powder?
Little bit different. The lime powder uh could be divided into quick lime and also hydrated lime, and these two are also different from the dolomite. Usually the limestone only contain calcium, okay, but dolomite contain both calcium and magnesium, and is more how to say is more gentle. Okay, the reaction is not big as compared to the quick lime. Okay, so when we apply to the ground or when we do the fertilizer ourselves, it's safer to use the romite that way.
Okay. So yeah, for the trace element that we all the time you mention calcium, magnesium, and boron,
Yep.
do they have a recommended ratio?
Not really. Okay, but
If,
it depends on the plants. Okay, usually I can just like a rough ratio. Okay, rough ratio is about like one. Two. How to say? 210.01. Okay, the ratio is like this: 210.01. Okay, the ratio is like this, and then to provide for the plant.
Okay. For the solution, the 3630 liquid spray you
Yep.
mentioned just now, does this spray contain NPK?
Yes, it contains a minimum NPK inside. Okay, like altogether less than 1, and because this one provide already nutrients and then for the plants. Okay, so the NPK usually not that high, but the focus on the 360 is to not only providing NPK but also providing the trace element calcium, magnesium, and boron, and also some provide some disease protection to the plants. Okay.
Okay. So some our friends from Singapore mentioned that actually boron they can't directly buy borax in Singapore. So is there any substitute to replace the boron?
Okay, let me find on this. Okay, it's not really easily to find the organic source of boron. So welcome to PM this question. Okay, and also we will post the answer on the Facebook page, and then to see what could be the alternative source
Okay.
to
So
replace
we're waiting.
borax. Okay.
If for the boron we are unable to find the boron or in a liquid base, can we
Yep.
replace it or we apply the compost in
Yep.
a fixed schedule? It will help to reduce.
Yes.
It will supply the enough trace element to the plants.
Yes. Okay. So just make it correct. What we can do if we really could not find borax, okay, we can just keep continue spray the calcium and magnesium on plant through foliar. But for the borax source, the boron, we can just apply the compost to the plant. Okay, during the soil preparation stage, and then so that the soil inside already have the ready boron to get absorbed by the plant. All right.
Okay, and then for the liquid solution, how frequent we should spray, and then which part is the best to spray, on the top of the leaf or underside of the leaf? Which one is most efficient? Timing and how to spray.
Okay, usually the timing is like this. Avoid spraying at night, because at night the plant don't do any photosynthesis anymore. It start to get rest. Okay, so we just spray during the day. Okay, spray once a week should be enough. Don't spray every day, because we really have some friends like spray every day. The plant, and then the plants will get like too obese. Okay, too fat. Okay, and then start to turn yellow that way. Okay, so once a week is enough. Okay, and then spray during the day. And then you can spray any part of the plant. Okay, just need to make sure that you spray on the plant. Okay, could be on the stem, could be on the leaf. Okay, could be on the stalk. Okay, it's fine. Okay, but avoid spraying on the flower. Okay, first, because sometimes the flower at that stage is like still very weak. It still like can shake. Okay, because due to the weak structure, so we try to avoid the flower as we can. But if you accidentally spray on the flower, it's fine also. All right.
So it must be spray on the plants, right? It cannot
Yep.
be added. it cannot spray or add to the soil.
Yeah, don't spray on the soil, okay? Because it's safer that way, but we can spray on the base of the stem. Means that if, let's say this is the trunk of the tree or trunk of the plant, you spray at the most bottom, okay, of the tree, okay? Because it can absorb by the trunk itself and also absorb by the main roots, okay? Why we don't absorb to the soil? Because sometimes the soil will just like buffer all the nutrients away. Okay, so it cannot be absorbed very quickly by the plant. So if you absorb, so if you spray at the base of the stem, it's fine.
Okay, so thanks for all the clarification from Hans,
Wow.
and thanks for all the participants